Welcome to another episode, everyone. And yet another black woman found dead in Mississippi, dangling from a tree. This has been happening a lot in Mississippi, and they have been covering this up. We're going to get into that. Pay attention, black men. I know that this is not gang talk right now. Don't leave, though. Pay attention to what's going on. It's time for us to stand up and fight for our people. Watch this. This is indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie.
According to the Mississippi Free Press, full mass, black woman whose body was found hanging from a tree behind a vacant Jackson, Mississippi home is 29-year-old Tasia Fortune, or Tasha Fortune. The Hinds County Coroner's Office confirmed on Thursday. Authorities have not said if they suspect foul play. I want you to keep the picture up, Jordan. We talked about this last time, this pattern that says either A, we don't suspect foul play, or there's no evidence of foul play, or not saying there could be foul play.
Right. And they've been doing this for some time now, which in fact will lead me over here. Check this out. Since he just mentioned that, listen to this. 4 black men died. Did the coroner rule it? And listen.
4 black people lost their lives in Mississippi under suspicious circumstances, all examined by Dr. Stacy Turner, who ruled every single one no foul play. Give us your medical license, bitch. She performed the autopsy of Nolan Wells, who drowned on Horn Island, surrounded by white families who never got him home, had all of his belongings, including his phone, wiped some of his data from it, never notified his family, and don't have their story straight. Dr. Stacy Turner ruled this no foul play and refuses to release the results of her preliminary autopsy, but is keeping back the throat, lungs, and stomach from the family's new private medical examiner for further testing. She also performed Damian Cameron's autopsy, who was tased, beat, and had his neck shoved into the fucking ground by cops. And then minutes later, he fucking died in the cop car. Her noted cause of death was undetermined. And after other experts examined his body, they ruled it a homicide. 4 black people lost their...
Right. Ruled it a homicide after the other people watched it or did the autopsy. They ruled it a homicide. She said, nothing to see here. Neck broke, face broke. Everything broken on a man, died in the cop car. Minutes later, she ruled 4 black men's death there in Mississippi. Some of these individuals have been cut off by a tree. Here's another one that was cut off by a tree.
Family in Mississippi is now begging for answers after their 21-year-old was found dead hanging from a tree at Delta State University. Campus police say the body of 21-year-old Trey Reed, a black student, was discovered by staff members on Monday morning. Authorities quickly ruling out foul play, and during a press conference today, the university...
Authorities quickly ruling out foul play. Say that again. Authorities quickly ruling out foul play. Individuals have been found dangling from a tree out there as of late, and they have ruled all of these deaths. Apparently, if it's not a homicide, it's the other side. But black people do not take their lives in this way. In the back of a home, like the woman there in Jackson, Mississippi, in the back of a home, dangling from a tree. That's not how we do it. That's not how we take ourselves out. This is more reminiscent of something more sinister at play there in Mississippi. All of these individuals are coming up unalive. They are ruling all of their deaths not a homicide. One of the individuals had their legs broken. As he's dangling from the tree, his legs are broken, and they still ruled it, basically, that he blamed himself. With his legs broken? No, somebody broke his legs and put him up there. We know exactly what's going on. This Mississippi, of course, has a long history of this, where they have been unaliving black people and black men via the tree for some time, for generations, for centuries, or at least a century. Of course, it was more prominent in the 1920s, these unalivings by way of the rope. But it has never left. Black people were just lulled to sleep with Barack Obama going into office. And you can hear black people everywhere in the country saying how racism was over. And if you said anything about it not being over, you're subject to be attacked by your own people. They swore up and down with Obama in office that there's nothing to see here, no racism to be had. At least Donald Trump has exposed the fact that racism has never left this country. It is here, flourishing, thriving, alive, and well. And he made it okay for these individuals to come out of the closet and be overt instead of covert with their racism. And they have done just that. And so now we see in the media apparatus these situations where these individuals are constantly losing their lives by brutal fashions, by brutal force out there in Mississippi. And this same coroner is ruling all of these deaths, again, not a homicide, though they clearly are. The method is the MO of the lineage of evil, the evildoers, the cave dwellers. This is their method, their modus operandi. And it's time that we don't continue to sit by and allow these individuals to unalive our brothers and sisters. They're going to say that it's me, that I'm the problem, that I'm starting stuff. But I haven't lynched anyone. The people who are going to be scapegoated, absolved. And they will rather point the picture at me and point their finger at me, their blood-soaked finger at me, and say that I'm the problem because I'm responding to brutalization by the colonizer. Trey Reed, say his name, rest in peace, brother. He did not take his own life. This happened in Mississippi maybe a year or so ago with Trey Reed. But as we can see, it's continuing on a regular basis. Let's get back to the sister who was just found unalived. Let's get back to the sister who was just found unalived in the back of a Jackson, Mississippi home. Yet another one.
The fact that you have a dead body is reason enough to potentially suspect perhaps there's foul play. And if anyone has information that could perhaps bring justice to the foul play that has happened to this woman, we would like to engage the community. But they don't say that. The Jackson Police Department first announced in a statement on Monday evening that cops, quote, located the body. You heard me right. Officers located the body of an unidentified black female at the 500 block of Road of Remembrance, a mostly black neighborhood. At 9:05 that night, neighbors in this urban community contacted the police after finding her body, though it is not clear how long the body had been there. Hinds County Coroner Jeremiah Howard, who identified the body publicly, said earlier this week that the body would be transported to the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's office to perform an autopsy. That autopsy is to determine the cause and the manner of death. Put him up. That's Kenneth Stokes. Mr. Stokes is the councilman for Jackson's 3rd Ward. He's actually speaking out about the death. He says it is murder. I want you to take a good look at the elected official, because Councilman Stokes wrote a letter to the U.S. Attorney's Office. He bypassed his local police department. Quote, "We are in dire need of the assistance of the U.S. Attorney's Office with the death of an unidentified female discovered hanging in the backyard of an abandoned house on the Road of Remembrance in Jackson, Mississippi. We especially are in need of the following details: by whom she was murdered, the motive for her murder, the confirmed name of the deceased, permanent address, as well as other pertinent information. We look forward to your response." End quote. Stokes said that even if there is no racial element to Ms. Fortune's death, Mississippi's history of lynching, and this is the point, the history of lynching alone must be considered. It's called context. Per WAPT, and that public officials need to speak out against what happened to her and say it is unacceptable. Quote, "Hanging is an activity, a crime that should never be an issue of being accepted by the public," he said in an interview. Another quote, "Hanging must never be an acceptable behavior." Let's go to Fortune's aunt. There's a GoFundMe page. Etta Avolio started a GoFundMe to help raise funds, cover the expenses for final arrangements. She says Fortune was a beloved daughter, sister, and friend whose passing has left her family devastated and heartbroken. During this lifetime, families go through ups and downs. And right now, Fortune's loved ones are facing one of the hardest moments they have ever known. She was a strong-minded, big-hearted, vibrant young woman whose life was taken at just 29 years old. Her loss has deeply shaken everyone who knew and loved her and her family.
Okay, so, I mean, they're about to do the autopsy. They are about to do the autopsy to find out the manner of death. So we don't know the manner of death yet. Clearly, the councilman there, Stokes, believes that it was murder. He said as much, for one. The family also does, right? I was wondering what the family had to say about this. You know, was she going through something mental? Did she take her own life? Is this what they're about to try to say? The family clearly says no, that they're devastated that someone took her life. So, you know, they're saying that there was nothing wrong with her, that she was not mental, she was not talking about taking her own life or anything like that, that this is a homicide. So again, we'll see when the autopsy reports come back, but we can't trust anything that these people say. That lady there in Mississippi is withholding parts of Nolan Wells's body, his throat, brain, stomach, etc., from the second independent autopsy. We just saw that she has ruled 4 different black deaths out there, that it was nothing to see here, folks. It immediately, quickly ruling out any foul play in all of these situations, as did the coroner for Trey Reed, which may have been her as well. This is a trend. And again, we see the black girl here, black lady. She was 29 years old, looks very young, but she was 29 years old. And her family clearly saying here that this was foul play, that someone took her life. And she's back there hanging from, they're sending a message, man. This is not an accident. This is not an accident, time and time and time again. They're trying us. They're sending a message. They're out here taking out our brothers and sisters, children even. It's up. They want it to go up. They want a war. This is what they're begging for. I promise you, there's reasons for this. Did you see the black girl with epilepsy that was just kidnapped by her 3 white friends, white girls? They were all supposed to be her friends. They video recorded themselves beating her, saying, where can they put the body? She's balled up. Is the black girl curled up, balled up, can't defend herself? She has problems, medical problems. They knew this, invited her over, whatever, got her over there and beat her and recorded it and posted it on the internet just to be funny or whatever. And then people seen it and it went viral, and now there's a whole lot of smoke over it. This is after the Nolan Wells situation, when he's out there with his friends and comes up missing. This is after that. This just happened a few days ago, where they beat this girl, the black girl. They're supposed to be friends. You all are going to get enough. It is still here. A lot of them, most of them, are not your friend, regardless of what they say to you. Who treats their friend that way? They beat her. A black mother just had a hidden camera where she recorded the school who were beating on her child, and her child was nonverbal. He couldn't speak. A little black boy, calling him all kinds of N-words and beating on him. A bunch of white teachers, all of them in the school got caught. She had a hidden camera, put it in her hair. I just saw this last night or this morning or so. So it's time to wake up right now. This is not an accident. This is what's going on. I will not be surprised if we see another one of these in another couple of weeks, a few weeks. Apparently every few weeks or so, one is coming up dead in this fashion out there in Mississippi. It's just a matter of time before some of these copycat type individuals catch on and start trying to do it in other places as well, if we do not nip this in the bud. Well, how do we nip it in the bud? Well, it's easy. It's real simple. We just simply need to stop dying alone. The moment a few of them suffer the exact same fate, come up leaking just like that from a tree, then they'll get the picture and they'll stop it.
It's now trying to
Nothing else is going to stop it.
begin healing while also facing the painful responsibility of saying their final farewells. We ask that you do the very best you can. Obviously, the local people understand their local politics as well as their criminal element, their bigotry that lives among them. The councilman has said it out loud. So much so, he put pen to paper. The authorities seem reluctant to call it racially motivated. A hanging from a tree in Mississippi of a young black girl, and the authorities who are in charge of the investigation will not say the obvious. That, of course, it is more than potentially, it is likely, based on probability, historical record.
Yes, it is absolutely racially motivated, but they refuse to say it. They refuse to hold these people accountable, hold themselves accountable, hold the country accountable. It's really sickening. It's disgusting to see how they treat these cases, and then the way that they are in the ghettos, catacombs, and grottos of America harassing black people for stealing a candy bar, smoking weed, or selling weed, whatever. But people are out here being brutalized, brutally murdered in the worst way imaginable, and they do nothing. No investigation. They don't care. No one's going to jail. Let your black ass get out here and do anything against the law. You're going to jail. People out here, they've been 6 people they've been found hanged in the last freaking year. 6 people, 7 people, black people, all blacks, all black people in Mississippi. And not one person has been arrested. Not one person that's went to jail. I've done 30 years of incarceration. I ain't never did nothing like this. They kept arresting my ass for anything I do. Not one person has been arrested. We need to get together and have a conversation, people. Not on the internet. We need to get together and have a conversation. Very fast, soon, quickly, and remedy this situation. There's a way to do it. There's a way to stop this immediately. We can take a trip out there to Mississippi and stop it immediately. We can do it ourselves. I promise you. That's what we need to do. Put it into action. There you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Another sister found behind a home, backyard apparently, from a tree in Mississippi. Already ruled no foul play. Well, I guess in that situation they're going to see the manner of death. But they still also said that it was not racially motivated. It had nothing to do. They also were quick to dismiss any potential foul play. As they have in every other situation that has happened out there. They're all in on it. They're all corrupt. They're all diabolical to the bone. Not only the people who do these things and commit these crimes, these heinous acts, but the people who cover for them are just as bloody, are just as heinous, are just as guilty, are just as sick in the head. And that's many of them that's rotten from top to bottom. This is why not one arrest has been made. In none of these situations, no real investigation, no arrest. Because they're crooked. The DA, the police, the judge, the coroner, from top to bottom, everyone, they all in it together. The damn nurses. They're all in it together, man. They all are imbued with hatred, every single last one of them. I don't give a damn what no one says. And then y'all wonder why I feel the way I feel now, and why I still fight the way I fight for my people, and why I still have the rhetoric that I have, and why I'm willing to get out here and die. I'm not just talking, man. F y'all people, man. Y'all out here still killing black people. That's why I feel the way I feel. Go to hell. That was not an accident. Black men, it's time. Stand up. Fight. Stay safe and stay free, people.